Good evening and welcome to the ASUS ROG DreamLeague live from the DreamHack Monster Energy Studios. And we're here and we have two series for you tonight. Let's take a look at what games we have in store for you. Tonight we have two semi-finals coming your way. The first one is going to be Team Tinker taking on 4 Clovers and a Leprecon. Definitely a good one to start the day with. 4 Clovers and a Leprecon, a lot of familiar names in there. And then our second matchup is going to be Game Online taking on a basically unknown. Game Online yesterday beating the invited team Flipside and making it through. And Suki's squad fell to basically unknown the day before already. And that is our second semi-finals. And here on the couch with me are our casters, as well as my co-host Shane. Shane, how are you doing today?
Really good, actually. For the first time, I'm actually really excited.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
He's never been excited before in his life.
No, this is the first time. And it's on it. The games today just look amazing, to be honest. Like, as far as games go, these are probably the best day of games we've had so far.
I am inclined to agree.
Yeah.
Owen, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. As Shane said, looking forward to the games today. We should have some interesting matchups. And I think a lot of people are going to be interested to see specifically how 4 Clovers and a Leprecon do perform. Because as far as I'm aware, I think the only thing that they've really kind of competed in so far was the ESL 1 qualifiers, which they unfortunately didn't get that far in. So this is kind of their second shot at kind of showing people what they've got. And
do you want to explain to maybe people watching what happened when we got home yesterday?
Oh, it was oh man. Well, so we get home. I open the door and I'm singing Bridge Under Troubled Water. I'm yelling my lungs out. The house is completely black. And I open the door, and it's a very deep house, you know, it's a corridor into straight open kind of living room. And I come in singing, and suddenly, bam, this massive black blob just goes vroom, across the room. So I turn around like, guys, everyone, get the hell out of the house.
No, you didn't. You literally screamed at the top of your lungs like a girl.
We need to get out. So Shane and Shiva are standing in the doorway.
The most girly scream you've ever heard.
Looking at me like, and Shiva's face was like, oh my God, what's happened? What has he seen? What is going on? And I was like, it's okay, it's not that bad. But there's something in the house. So, I mean, Shane, what do? We
figured out it was a cat, basically.
Yes.
It's a cat.
We don't know, because we
actually don't know if it's a cat. It's a cat or some sort of small rodent.
It could have been a small kind of baby or something.
Yeah, a small
Mini
baby
bear.
monster.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We literally
Raccoon.
searched the house from top to bottom with like a flashlight and a video camera, just in case, you know, it eats us, and then we have record of what happened.
I mean, we went into the basement, and we couldn't see it.
Go to the
because
basement.
that must have been where it went. That was the only place that this thing in our house could have gone. So we went down to the basement. You put a little tray of bacon out or something to...
Oh yeah,
try
I
and
did some
soothe the
bacon
monster.
out. I stole some bacon from Shane.
We want to feed
I
them
put it in the
bacon.
basement to feed it.
Because what we want to do is...
But Shiva, once it tastes flesh, it's going to want more.
It's pig flesh.
If it's actually a monster, you don't feed it.
Yeah, but humans
I
taste like
fed it,
pork.
so it's no longer hungry.
How do you know?
What?
What? No.
No, nothing.
I didn't hear what he said.
He said humans taste like pork.
I thought they tasted like chicken.
What kind of humans you eating?
Maybe different.
This conversation is getting dark very quickly.
Welcome to DreamLeague.
Yeah, with that in mind, let's take a look at the teams. We, of course, had yesterday quarterfinals. And with yesterday's games out of the way, we actually have a bit of a recap for you of the games we did see yesterday. So let's just go into Dota.
Wind Ranger, she's going to try and win run away, but the quill spray is going to go straight through that. One more should do the job. Pink Panda, he's diving with the void. Oh, he backs out. It wasn't enough damage. There he goes. One more final slap there to the backside of the Ginger Maiden. And oh, well, they've lost the Night Stalker. In fact, he dove a little bit too far. They're going to lose Bristleback as well. This is pretty good. Oh, Slark, he walks into a Requiem and a Shockwave. Triple kill for Qualifier. Game Online, they're going to smoke in return. There was a Radiant Ward there. So Flipside do know this is coming. Blink forward there. Fromzins gets the stun onto the Shadow Fiend. Zipping from Bland, trying to turn it around. Excalibur pops the BKB though, and now he starts to get to work. Finger was thrown down onto Pelican, and the Io will fully with the first casualty in this fight. Now it's an unstoppable kill streak here for the Tiny as he takes down the Phoenix, but already Baby Knight, he's got himself a double kill. Excalibur, he's got a double kill. Baby Knight versus Excalibur, who's going to come out on top? Bland trying to get the slows and control onto Excalibur. Baby Knight trying to fight up, but the armor reduction there from the nasal goo, and the right click from Excalibur. It's too much. Triple kill. It might be an ultra kill. It's going to be an ultra kill. 2.7k gold. He's getting richer and richer. 20k net worth on the Jug. They're going to smoke. They want to go. And they are going to be able to use up the Jug, but the Jug, and the Jug isn't the one with the Aegis. They're going to be able to find the call. Laguna Blade as well onto Rocksnap. Of course, we've got the Agnums going through the magic music. Stone Gaze now from Ace. Is this going to be enough, though? The damage is there. RP onto 3. Blank goes down. They've lost the Dazzle. They've lost the Rubik. They've lost Ace. They've lost all hope. They might even lose Baby Knight. Yes, they will. GG is called. There's no coming back.
Those were yesterday's games, and those were all the quarterfinals that we've seen in this qualifier. We're in main qualifier number 3. And with all the qualifiers, or the quarterfinals of this qualifier done, yeah, that's a tongue twister right there, we only have semifinals and finals left. And today is semifinals day, so let's take a closer look at the brackets to see what we have got today, even though I already went slightly over that.
Oh,
What?
Shane, look at that.
Beautiful.
What?
Just admiring the semi-finals.
Yeah, it's just nice games.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is
Wow.
a bit of a relief. Because sometimes when you get to the semifinals, because, okay, you have teams who are invited to the bracket, right?
Yes.
And then you have teams that come in through the open qualifier. So there's a high probability that in the quarterfinals, you're going to have a well-known team versus a completely unknown
Yes.
team, which does have a tendency to produce maybe, at least in the quarterfinals, lower quality of overall games. But that means that this time, in this particular bracket, we have 2 series that I think would actually go to a 3rd game, which in a way can be exciting because all the teams have well-known players on them. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that being said, actually, 2 of the teams, of the 4 teams that we're seeing today, have actually made their way through the open qualifiers, because we did have Game Online as well as 4 Clovers and a Leprecon. These teams weren't invited. They made it through the open qualifier, and they're here. They beat Eternal Envy's Disciples as well as Flipside, respectively, 2 invited teams that made it to the semifinals last week. But yeah, 2 invited teams and 2 open qualifier teams in the semifinals, and it being even semifinals, as mentioned. That's pretty unique for us so
it
far.
really is. And honestly, Game Online are the team that stand out for me the most. Because yesterday, like in all their games, they showed so much composure, and like they really took when things were bad, they didn't crush under the pressure. They played the game exactly how they knew they were going to play the game. They had their plan, and then they kind of just slowly executed it. You know, there was no...
As Steve mentioned, I think the biggest one that you're referring to is the Wisp Tiny game,
the Morphling.
where they got dismantled during the laning phase.
If you were in a pub game, you're literally saying, "We lost, boys." You know what I mean? Like, that's the
You'd be
scenario.
raging,
Yeah, exactly.
blaming mid.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
no gank?
Why
Their
not
lineup,
gank?
though, had such good potential from fighting from behind, though. That's the key, is because as soon as the Morphling got like 7 or 8, it's 1 stun as a kill, pretty much. And I still feel like Ace, that death in the woods, like that
The
was
Phoenix
so
one.
awful.
Yeah.
Like he not only got almost 2 levels from just killing the Phoenix, but he also got some of the stack as well, because I think he still had his spirits out when the Phoenix died. So it's like you get all this experience, boom, free kill on safe lane.
All of a sudden, you're level 6 as a Wisp,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
Well, he was actually like 7 or 8 after they ganked Plan, and I was like, oh,
game on.
game on.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, it's crazy.
Mine.
IO Tiny. So is that your favorite player of Game Online, Excalibur?
Honestly, I think Pelican
Pelican.
played
Yes,
very well
Pelican.
on the Wisp and on his was it?
The Scarf Mage,
Scarf
wasn't it?
Mage,
Yeah. Did you play it in one of the games? Pretty
It
sure.
was the second game. That was the
Yeah.
one they lost. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. But I think Scarf was because it was the Scarf Morphling combination.
Yeah, it
they were,
was.
yeah, they were. We kind of on paper look great. I think he played Scarf in both of the games. didn't
Pelican played IO,
No.
Skyrath, as well as Abaddon.
he? Abaddon. That's what it was in the last game. Yeah.
Nice cheating for me. Or rather, and people don't see me, amazing
No,
memory
it's
for me.
it's preparedness. There's a difference. It's not cheating if you take the time to write the stuff down in advance.
You're just
No one can take away points for you coming prepared.
Feels cheating. Feels like I should know. I saw it yesterday.
You know how hard it is to remember all that stuff?
There's
I
so
know.
many
There's
games.
so much, but I like. Don't you want to remember?
You're not a robot, Cheever.
Don't
You
you-
can't remember everything you see.
I mean,
you-
I remember the most important moments, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, those are the things that I mentally think, oh, this is where the game turned. Or this is when I feel like one team secured the game, no matter what happened.
But usually when you remember them, you remember it as heroes rather than players' names. So it's,
Yeah,
a,
yeah,
it's a lot
exactly.
harder to associate, like, especially Game Online, because we're only seeing them recently. Like, it's a new team for us, so we don't really, like, associate certain players with certain characters.
Yeah, well-known teams, it's easy to just be like, okay, well, if it's a core and it's on Navi,
Exactly.
it's a host, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that, I get where you're coming from with that. But yeah, it's a lot of information to digest and just have, like, on the top of your head. So you're actually...
Well done, Shiva.
You're the smart one. We're all fools.
Game Online, they're going to be going up against Basically Unknown. And we actually have not seen Basically Unknown play in their quarterfinals. We saw them last week, of course. They were the team that lost to Burden United in the finals of main qualifier number 2. So we did see them a lot. We talked to them a lot as well. Of course, we talked to every team after their victory. So we talked at least twice to them last week. Yes, can calculate things. Great.
Arise and Blind, correct?
Yes.
Those are the two we talked
Those
to.
were the two we talked to. But we didn't see them in the quarterfinals, so we haven't seen them that yet this week. What are we expecting to see from basically unknown today? You know, are we going to see Magnus banned out? Because last week that was a bit of a problem.
think
for some
I
teams.
believe you really will see it. The other thing, too, is the matchup for me is interesting. Both these teams, they have Game Online were terrible laners. Like, let's be honest, that was their biggest weakness I saw yesterday when they were playing against Flipside. And I said to myself, if they just laned a little bit better, this team would be monstrously strong because their team fighting was amazing. There was only one person, I think, who underperformed in any of the games in terms of fighting, and that was ROG when he played a Shaker. But I also feel that they were so far behind from how they set themselves up lane-wise that it was hard for him to really shine anyway. His blink was super late. But then he played Lion, and I was like, holy crap.
The game
This
afterwards,
is a legit Lion, right? Like, he played really, really well. But if you look at basically Unknown, they have really good strategies that they abuse when they have Magnus, right? So they always pick their melee cores, they pick their Skywrath support, they pick anything that synergizes well with that AoE control, and their team can always come back. So I think both teams are great at fighting, but basically Unknown are much better at laning. So on paper, I'm like, if Game Online can actually get a situation where they can win the lanes, I think they could win. But I just feel like basically Unknown will probably take it just based on their drafting is more stable. And the way that they play the game is more early game based, and I think that works well for them.
Yeah, that makes sense. Owen, do you think that if a team, as Andy says, is as fighting oriented as basically Unknown is, and then going up against Game Online, who has the same strategy, of course, do you feel like that is going to be making the teams fight each other all the time? Or are they going to be just basically holding back because they know the other team likes to fight and rather want to fight on their terms instead?
No idea.
Owen is so confused.
Yes.
Doesn't that make sense?
Well, anyway,
I thought it makes
talking
sense.
about the two teams, basically Unknown. I mean,
It's okay, she.
Come on, Owen, get it together.
was it me? The answer, I'm looking for it still. I mean, the question
I think yes,
it
covered
goes
it
over
pretty
me.
well.
It's beyond me.
Okay,
that
let me
question.
help
I'm
you.
obviously not talented enough.
So
So
what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Is they're going to ban Magnus,
Yes.
Yeah.
and they're just going to fight each other like CIS
But if you
teams.
know that the other team wants to fight, and isn't it better to know, like, we're going to stand more back because then we have
No,
them
because if
initiating
you
that?
feel that you're good at something, then you play to your strengths. You don't play to what you think the other enemy is good at. Like, if you say, okay, we're not going to fight because we know the other team's good at fighting, that's just like saying we're not good enough to beat you in a fight. Who does that?
But it happens so often where two active teams face each other, and because they're both active teams, they actually both kind of counter each other, and it ends up in a really lackluster
I think what you're
game.
referring to is a show of respect and knowing that both
Like a
teams have
stalemate.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're like,
okay.
oh man, both teams are really good at fighting, and it puts a little more stress on you.
Yeah.
But I think as soon as one fight happens, it's going to be like boom,
No,
fights
it's kind of
everywhere.
it's in them kung fu movies when the two guys are staring at each other and they're like fighting in their minds and they know that the fight is over before it
Yeah.
starts. Exactly. Yeah.
What do they call it? Shadow boxing or something
Yeah,
like
shadow-
that? Yeah. When you're like practicing against,
Against
like,
nothing.
you're imagining what the fight's going to be like, but you're not actually fighting anyone. You're fighting yourself.
Yeah, that's pretty deep, Shiva. Actually.
Wow, that's totally what I was going for the entire time. Super deep questions. But what do you think about the matchup, Owen?
to put it simply, I kind of feel if basically Unknown, if they get a rise, either the Shadow Fiend, the Magnus, or the Beastmaster, they're going to be in a very good position. And I would be surprised if they give away a game if they get a rise on those. Because we've seen him be so proficient on those heroes. In Face It, he picks those, get him on the Shadow Fiend, get him on the Beastmaster. He does a lot of work on the Beastmaster. Especially, he always seems to want to get it against the Storm Spirit. So if we see the side of Game Online try and get themselves a Storm in the mid lane, I'll be very surprised if they don't pick the Beastmaster for a
If you're
rise.
basically Unknown, do you ban the Wisp or ban the?
And you got to ban Magnus.
Morphling. If you're basically Unknown.
Against Game Online?
Yeah,
It's one of those things that, I mean, they ran the Morphling, in all 3 games
Yeah,
yesterday?
it was
in the
pretty.
first two.
In the first 2, and in the second one it didn't work. They tried to do it with the Skywrath, which didn't work out as best
Because they
as
had
with
a
the
Shadow
Tiny
Demon.
IO combo.
Yeah, it wasn't because of the Morphling.
They did have the Shadow Demon, and we talked about it during the actual game. Game Online didn't seem to deal with the Shadow Demon in the right way because they had a Storm Spirit, but in every engagement, the Storm Spirit wasn't going for the Shadow Demon. He was just joining in the action, going straight for the same target that the Adaptive Strike was thrown down on. So SD was always there with the disruption, and suddenly your combo is totally null and void. So I think the Morphling's an issue, but I feel a team like basically Unknown, I kind of feel they'll be able to deal with it. So I don't think they will be banning out the Morphling. They'll just stick to kind of your tier 1 bans that we're used to see them kind of banning against any team.
I think I know what they'll do.
Okay.
So here's scenario
Nice.
1, right?
Okay.
First 2 picks, you do like Owen said, you chalk ban. So you ban out your sniper, your troll, your wisp, whatever, if you're basically Unknown. And then if the first 2 pick Morphling, In the second phase, you ban Skywrath, or you ban the other hero that partners well with it, which if you already ban the Wisp, you don't have to get rid of that. And then the other combo heroes are already gone.
There's Tinker.
If you can do Tinker, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can bots in and do that. But if they end up picking one of those heroes, you just pick Storm, right?
Okay, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, then that combo doesn't work as well anymore because you can just counter gank off of
What about
whatever
like
the
someone like
Morphling is.
Silencer, just to completely shut down their initiation?
Then their lanes are terrible.
Well, Silencer's a really good laner, I think.
No, because like if you run Silencer, it can't be core.
No, yeah.
Because you already have off lane, right? And you're going to pick a mid Tinker if you want to do that. Then the Silencer has to be support. And against the Storm composition, if you hit Sixer, it's okay. But I just feel like your laning phase would not be that good because you'd have off lane Morphling, a mid Tinker, which is okay laner, but extremely gankable. And you haven't really sacrificed anything in your draft. You're only banning out 2 heroes because if they get Morphling, you take out Sky. And if they want to pick Tinker, then you can just pick Beastmaster for a Rise or Storm. And it's like, okay, fine, we already have a counter for your hero. So I don't really think it's that hard to pick around. I just think that people aren't used to it.
Fair enough. Owen, do you agree with Andy saying that it's going to be 2-1 in favor of basically unknown?
Yeah, I think he's right. I would be surprised if Game Online don't take a single game against the side of BU because they did look really good when we saw them up against Flipside. I would be very surprised if they do take it just down to the fact that kind of performance-wise, when you look at a player level, it was a bit lacking in Game 2 of the series yesterday. So for me, it kind of seems like they're not totally there. Maybe they'll prove me wrong and, yesterday was just a bit of an off day for some kind of reason. But the plays on was certainly a little bit questionable. And I mean, even myself, I don't like to question pro players because I'm really not at a level that I can, but I think even Andy can agree with me. Something was missing in the game too.
Yeah, they could have been nervous. I don't know because it's like the first time we've seen them in the ASUS ROG DreamLeague. So I don't know if it was just nerves or if it was like off day. It seemed really weird because some of the stuff that they did, I was like, wow, that was. I mean, Shane wouldn't have done some of that stuff. You know?
Why get on the flame?
Because it's fun, and I know you take it lightly, so it's easy
fair.
to flame you.
I just like complaining.
You don't see him when he
Yeah.
comes back at evening and just sits on his own in the corner, cries
just
into a
sulks.
tissue, and
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
it's going to be even worse.
It's all right. I
than
still
that.
don't feel bad.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Yeah.
At least maybe tonight you have a cat to cry with.
Yeah,
you
just
know?
in the basement, me and the cat just cuddling each other.
Is it still in your house?
It's
Yeah,
in
it
the
is.
basement. We locked it in the
found it.
basement.
You just left it there.
No.
We couldn't leave the
didn't-
basement door
We
open.
didn't find it.
We didn't find it.
We locked the basement door, but we think that there might be a way into our house in the basement.
Yeah, there's like
That is,
it's a really, really
It's
old
probably
house.
just a neighbor's cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's in our basement.
why? How did it get into our house?
I don't know. We have a mouse in our house.
Yeah,
His
but
name's
mine
Jerry.
is
Smaller. Bigger.
under.
He's in the cabinet above the fridge, and every once in a while, when you go into the kitchen, you hear scratch, 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 scratch. You're like, oh, Jerry must be awake, you know? He's just doing his
Is
thing.
that the cornflakes place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, James only is the one who eats cereal, so it's no skin off my nose.
Okay, so for the first series, it's 4 Clovers and Leprecon. Shane, you must be favoring them actually versus Team Tinker, even if purely for the name.
No, actually, I favor Team Tinker.
Wow.
Okay,
Sure.
wow.
I've abandoned them. I don't know.
If they were called 4 Spuds,
Four
And, like-
spuds and a burger.
yeah,
They'd be my boys.
Exactly.
No, but Team Tinker yesterday, they played like superbly. Honestly, they showed such dominance in game 1. That was actually probably the most.
Yeah, but at the same time, they were facing a team that didn't look to be all that prepared. Can I say that?
yeah,
Game 2
you
was
can.
definitely really different.
Yeah, okay. But I don't know. I think they have a really kind of unique kind of drafting style, and they the aggressiveness of the Lina and the Night Stalker, like just put so much pressure on like 2 lanes at the same time.
Yeah.
Like they snipe the courier mid. They're constantly just roaming around the jungle, just causing pressure, being off map, and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff can really upset teams. Especially, I haven't actually seen four Clovers and a Leprecon play. Like honestly, I haven't
Exactly,
seen them.
that's
yeah,
the
that's the
problem.
problem. Yeah, but I've seen all their players individually play.
Oh. Shane, I'm going to let you do the others again.
Okay.
I pressed
My
the
red button
too
again
fast.
today. Yesterday was my Bugatti that I built, so I made the red button yesterday. And I see someone with some sort of.
He's going to throw it. Is he going to throw it?
Okay, let's see.
It's going to be... Oh,
Where'd it go?
there you get it. Smooth.
Smooth.
At least we know it's, not flat,
It's not fragile.
not fragile. It's great. Not heavy.
All
No
right, let's see.
stones.
What we got, Shane?
Let's have a look.
Wait, flip it over. There's something on the other side.
Other
What
side.
we got? A message?
Okay, it says, heads up, this is a little something for Draskell and Shane. We got a present!
Did we get wigs?
Oh, it's wigs.
That's fucking
I was
weak.
going to say, it's just us two. We're the only ones without hair.
Okay, if there's red, I kind of always wanted to be a redhead.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Okay. I can do that.
You just picked it. No. Okay, never mind. The rage is real.
Okay. Oh.
There's just like a ridiculous amount of tape.
Like this box is so big for these tiny presents.
Well, you can't let him know what it is right away. Which one do you want? The big one or the small one? Dude, I'm giving you first choice.
Okay, hold on.
You know which one is in each hand. You're not confusing yourself at all. This doesn't work.
Yeah, I know.
Just give me the big one.
All right, let's see.
Holy moly.
What color did you get?
I mean, I guess
I got red.
Wow, you're a god.
No. That's a African sunset, I believe they call it in Ireland.
African sunset.
Whoa, come on.
Oh, nice.
Wait a minute.
This is gonna look glorious.
Mine is like...
You just look that's like an old granny hair.
I'm gonna look like a beetle.
Yeah, let's see. Which way is the front? I
The
haven't worn hair in a while.
This is the front.
Where it... Yeah, all right.
Let's have a little look. Okay, there's like a net.
Okay, it's like stuck. Mine is like stuck to the box.
Hello.
Oh my god. Wait, where's... Wait, how do you tell which is the front?
The shoulder side.
Yeah, okay, hold on.
Feels like I'm wearing a hat. Oh, let me fix
Okay,
this.
they didn't realize how massive my head is apparently.
No, it's pretty tight.
Hold on. I don't even know if I can get it on.
It doesn't.
Holy Lord.
You look really good as well, Andy.
It's actually like so heavy.
Hold on, let's get mine a bit. Yeah, we can be emos.
I can't see. I don't know. Can I like...
You can part the hair. Do you have any hair bobbins, Shiva?
I don't have anything with me right now.
I think we look great.
Fantastic.
I think Drasko might need a haircut.
It's so small. I can't feel my I can't feel my brain.
Mine's so shiny.
Bit of hairspray on that will fix it.
Ah, thanks, Shiva. The tips.
Fantastic. I really am a beetle. Yeah. Like I saw it and I was like, yeah, this is a beetle.
I
And
just look shiny.
It's a good color too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it suits Andy. I just look ridiculous.
Decent. This could have been me.
Yeah, good. Imagine.
God.
I still prefer the other Andy.
You know, this is a touching moment for me because I haven't had hair like this since I was like 15.
Yeah, I'm 15 as well. It's weird.
Yeah.
My head feels warm. I don't know how to
I
deal with
can't
it.
feel anything like above my ears. Like that's how tight this wig is right now. I just have no
just
feeling
hear
at all.
Production
They're
really
laughing
far
behind
away.
us. Yeah, they're just like,
Alice as well.
Yes,
It's really unfair.
I'm just speechless because it's actually.
Can you do that, Andy? Mine doesn't move. Yeah, yours is way better.
I've never had that. You gave me the big
You
one.
had the choice. You had the
You had
choice.
like, there's no way that would have worked for me.
Actually, you still have a net over your hair that
Do
you
I?
have to remove.
I don't know how to. Oh, no, just in case I get into the shower.
Okay, but then
Later.
otherwise you can't, shake and then
Oh,
the,
really?
the
It's
hair
like so I
moves.
can release it. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so much better.
Wait, why didn't? Oh, you had the.
I don't know how to use hair.
You have to use it, like look in the camera and see
Okay.
fix your hair. It's that camera. It's camera 2.
No, it's this camera.
Oh, it's that camera. Sorry. It's,
Yeah, it's way better.
It's camera 1, yeah.
Nice.
I can't tell where the part is.
No, you combed your hair as well. They combed yours. They just like
It
trimmed-
came in a box, Shane.
Yeah, but they combed it and they put
They
it back in.
didn't pre-comb
Yes,
it.
they did.
It just look.
Look how messy I look.
No matter what, my hair's always gonna look better than yours.
okay. Before I'm gonna shoot you off the couch, you said 2-1 in favor of Team Tinker for the second series.
Yes, I know you can't take me seriously in the wig, and I get that, but I'm gonna have to ask you to focus up, be professional.
I'll try.
Let's do this.
I can't really see your eyes at all, so.
No, it's yeah, I can't say anything either. It's like I'm cousin It or something. I don't know.
Owen, do you agree? 2-1 for Tinker? Or are you gonna go for the 4 Clovers and Leprecon?
Yeah, Team Tinker were too good yesterday to kind of write them off, so I think it's going to be a 2-0 to Tinker.
2-0
Yeah.
even.
Yeah, I said 2-0 as well.
Yeah.
You have to do your part different. It's not working out. No.
Yours isn't long enough to do.
I don't even know what I'm dealing with here. Like,
I think your part's supposed to be like on this side. What's wrong? Can you not move it backwards to your wig a bit?
They're actually so small.
yeah, they're tiny.
Like,
But
I'm
this
pretty
is
sure
already a
these
lot
are
better.
children's wigs.
Now I don't need to do makeup on my hair on my head every day.
This is true.
All right, there we go.
You look at how much less shine there is.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You can actually see our faces.
It's like there's no solar flare whenever the camera like is just on me and you know. Like they can put it on and you can see.
Yeah, they don't have to change the brightness on the screen.
Well, I really hate to do this because, you know,
Let's be honest, I'm gorgeous.
yeah, it's just.
You're fabulous, Andy.
I want to continue looking at that all day, but I do have to assure you and Owen off the couch to make space for our weekly guest. And you have to get to your casting corner platform
Yes.
thing.
Corner platform thing. That's the
Yes.
official
I would
name.
keep this on all day, but I seriously think it would kill me.
Your brain might
It
slightly.
might actually just cease to function. Yes.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Make sure you take a picture before you take it off, though.
Oh, I'm sure there's going to be pictures everywhere.
We need screenshots, guys. Plenty of
Screenshots.
them. Can we zoom in once more before we say
Okay, hold
goodbye
on.
to Andy?
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back,
all gone.
Strange. Oh my God, it's all gone. Quick shave in the meantime.
Yep.
It's like 10 seconds in between, but you got it done. What do you think of the hair?
Did it look
They
good?
looked younger with the hair.
They did.
Yeah, they did. And,
Oh, well,
and
apart from Andy, he actually looked like a beetle.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was really
he
good.
looked like he was an old rock star with
Yeah.
a tough life. Maybe he would write a poem at occasions, and you can't really get to him.
No, you can't.
No, he's
He-
way too far away. You can't get to him.
He's
you
in
will
a dark
never get him.
place.
Yeah. But he was actually, I actually found him attractive with the
Unlike
hair.
me.
Unlike you,
Yeah, fair
definitely.
enough. That's pretty cold. Yeah.
But I find you attractive now.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah, okay. That's better.
That's fine.
Evens it out.
Yeah.
Evens
And then I
it
found
out.
this pencil.
Oh.
What?
Is it for me?
No, I needed to make notes, but
Have you been chewing on it?
no, but I think my kids might have been. You like it?
It's all right.
Great. So our first series is going to be Team Tinker versus 4 Clovers and a Leprecon. What's your opinion on the matchup?
I don't believe in those teams who just mix up and try to manage, not versus a team like Tinker. So I think Tinker will get this. Team Tinker. That doesn't
You
work.
think
so
Tinker?
we'll get this.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if they won 2-0.
Yeah.
2-0 even.
Yes.
Do you not believe in the honeymoon stage of a team? Like, you know, when a team comes together, they all kind of bend
Yeah,
their
yeah,
ways
I
a
know,
little
I know.
bit.
Well, so I don't really know if it would work.
I don't
No?
get it.
Yeah, I got
You
it.
don't get it?
Honeymoon.
Oh, honeymoon. I actually just work with honeymoon. So.
No, definitely I would agree on that, and it would work. But I think in a best of 3, that's not enough. You need to have some kind of teamwork to work with, and
In best of 1, you would have seen it. For
yeah, I would have given Clovers a better chance at least,
Yeah.
because in the best of 3 you might outpick the enemy in one game, fine, but you won't win the whole series. So that's why I said I'm not surprised if Tinker wins 2-0, but I wouldn't be like surprised if it ends up 2-1 either. But I'm pretty confident that Tinker will win it.
Okay. It's good logic. I mean, Team Tinker, they have been boot camping as well. They've been boot camping for like 3 weeks right now, which is a pretty long time there. Of course, I mean, it's going to be event season, right? They're going to go to Star Ladder. I don't think they qualified for the summit, but there's events again afterwards. And
I didn't
it's
actually
like,
think about it yesterday, but Team Tinker have like 250 ping.
yes, they
So-
are somewhere in North America.
Yeah, so that probably does affect their play quite a bit.
I have not considered that at all.
Yeah, I was thinking about it yesterday when we were talking to Pilot Die, and I was like, oh, wait, you're in America. That's pretty far away from Europe.
Pretty far away from the
So
server.
how's
where
the
they play.
server rules?
I believe it's because it's a European qualifier. They're playing on Luxembourg, I think.
It depends on if they're on the East Coast, they'd be fine. It's only like 100
Yeah.
ping or something.
But I actually don't know where in America they're
Yeah.
actually boot
Or maybe
camping.
that will be that game they lose then. But I still think Tinker will win.
Well, you can also pick around that, right? You can just pick heroes that are not that
Skeleton
ping.
King.
Skeleton King is awesome. You can do that
You
with
mean,
400
do you mean
ping.
Race King? Because I don't think there's
Oh.
a Skeleton King in the game.
Sorry, Valve.
Did I say Skeleton King?
I
No.
said Skeleton King.
Yeah.
He did.
I would never say that.
No.
I
Me
said
neither.
Wraith King immediately after you said
And
that.
Windrunner. Or Ranger.
Yeah. No, but that's true actually. Some heroes are much. I mean, Lina is not the funniest hero to play with a lot of delay.
Yeah,
Exactly,
We saw that yesterday, didn't we? Have a gank where they tried to go for a gank with Night Stalker and Alina, and they just missed the.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
actually.
Yeah,
strike
but that
array.
was not just missing.
No,
there was problem for the observer to follow the whole. So it was like this
Yeah,
big.
Yeah,
distance
it was
was
a
huge,
pretty
yeah.
big miss.
But that
you
happens
know,
in the beginning of the games, you know,
Yeah.
when you really haven't adjusted yourself to
That's
the
true,
delay.
actually. After like a game, your brain and your hands adjust to the delay, and all of a sudden it's like playing normally.
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
just calculate that.
No,
brain
yeah,
lag
exactly.
in.
It does happen, yeah. Because if you play on US East all day, you
Yeah.
don't even notice the
But
difference.
if you're going to be playing games for a European qualifier, wouldn't you try to practice on, Luxembourg servers? Like play your scrims there, play your matches there, play
they're
matchmaking
professional
there?
players. I'm sure they've done it in the past before. So
Yeah.
maybe it just takes that one game to warm up, and then they're good.
I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Okay. I also would say 2-1, by the way, in favor of Team Tinker. You say like 5 people that just come together to try out for a tournament shouldn't in theory work, but I'm really with Jane on the honeymoon phase where actually, it's like the Cinderella story, where they can actually do good. Of course, the moment they start losing, there's normally the trouble for these type of teams where they can't deal with that, and that's going to be the tricky part for them to overcome. But for now, things are looking quite okay.
Yeah, it's like when you move into a house and you put in, like with say 2 strangers, for example, and you put in a little bit of extra effort cleaning up for the first few weeks, and then you gradually go back to yourself after you know what I mean?
I think
But
this is something you guys should take in between games. I'm just saying, no judgment.
Well, I just want to point out yesterday, I think it was yesterday morning, we got a word of what the cost would be for a cleaner in Sweden,
Oh my God, yeah.
which is stupidly expensive.
€100 a week.
100 euros a week. I thought for like 2-ish hours a week. Like,
€50 an hour.
I thought like in Sweden.
Wow, that is that high?
I thought it was really high. So when I told that to Owen, he's like, "Oh, but we can clean it ourselves." And then he went on a massive cleaning spree. So kudos for that.
I cleaned the dishwasher.
Me too today again. It
Did you?
has to be done like every 2 days because apparently people use the same like different cups for tea. Like if you got your second cup of tea, you get a new cup. Have to have
This
that.
is so interesting to talk
Oh, it
about.
is, isn't it?
I'm like, it's like fun filling me.
Yeah.
Feeling fun.
It's
Whatever.
like watching a reality show.
Yeah, I so like it. Can we talk more about this?
No.
No.
Thank you. No, I'm sorry. That wasn't so expensive, by the way. Maybe
What?
you need to talk to the producers and get better paid.
Oh, you mean that it's not 50? Like that's unusual for Sweden? Even.
No, that's normal.
Oh, really?
Is 50 euros per hour normal?
Well, how do you think you will get around if you're gonna pay taxes? I mean, the other person. We can talk about this between games.
My mom has a lady that cleans for every week and it's like 20 or 30 euros for 2 hours or so.
Are they kids working or?
No.
Are they legal?
I think maybe it's
Does she
1
lock
hour
them up in the
cleaning.
basement when they're
No,
done?
they're legal. It's fine.
Okay, fair enough.
Just saying. Okay, so what are we expecting here for Team Tinker versus for Clovers and Leprecon? Are we going to see aggression? Are we going to see patience late game? I mean, I'm assuming that, obviously Team Tinker is familiar with for Clovers and Leprecon in terms of players, but they might not have been able to see them play, while Team Tinker is way more publicly known, know who plays and know how they play their play style, what they're going to
I
do.
have the answer.
Okay.
The difference between these 2 teams gonna be 2 Germans, and it's Koikva. He's gonna be much better than anyone on the team for Clovers. I don't even want to say the whole name. And Black is gonna farm much better than anyone on that team too. And the others, sure, they could be even, but it's gonna be a show off. We will sit back and enjoy Koikva.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you shut down Black, then Qualifier gets farmed.
Yeah.
How do you focus against a team like this? Because they have 2 such exceptional core players that if you focus all your efforts on one, the other one's just going to have a field day. Like, so it's a really difficult. Oh, yeah. I get that point. That thing.
I actually watched the WODs yesterday. This is the best part
Of the whole show.
Yeah, this is awesome. You're like the way you use your hands.
Honestly, I was thinking about becoming a hand model.
Yeah.
Before I tried out this esports stuff, I think it's still clearly an option. Like,
You can combine the two. You can combine the two. And the reason why Shane is showing this Maximus 7, which is a micro motherboard, is because you can win it. I hope you're not going to be able to win the same one because there might be some paint stains on there. No, there's not actually.
What?
It's
What?
fine.
I'm a professional hand model. I don't
Yes.
get paint stains anyway.
Sorry.
Look at all these.
But you
USB.
can You can win it by going to facebook.com/ROG Nordic, and if you go there and enter your most favorite hero or most MVP hero of this qualifier of this week, which ends tomorrow, then you have a chance to win that motherboard. You do have to specify why you choose that hero, though. And I'm actually going to stop talking because I see the draft is already plenty on the way. So it is time for our first game between 4 Clovers and a Leprecon and Team Tinker with OD, Pixel, and Draskell.